All right, so guys, that'll do it for another episode, another Collector's Corner, right?
Sorry. Go ahead.
What happened?
Did you just throw up?
I sneezed.
All I know is Brandon fell, I thought, and John started laughing. I didn't know what happened. All right, guys, so that'll do. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Five Idiots Talking Toys. I'm Shane Davison. I'm here with Christopher and Brandon and John and Charles for another episode of Collector's Corner. We have a special guest whom you've seen on some recent episodes talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original vintage line. So he's going to be joining us in a moment so that we can really dive deep into his collection and see what his focuses are and just continue learning about the line, frankly. All right, well, let's jump in. Benjamin's here. We don't want him to be wasting his time waiting for us blabbing on, me mostly. But he's here now, and just when I every time I see your name, Benjamin, I welcome to the show, by the way. But I think of when I first met you at the convention that we were just talking about. It was one of the first or second mornings we were there, and I'm riding the elevator down together with you, and I said something about breakfast. Where is the breakfast? Where's the restaurant? And you were heading down as well. So I hadn't met many people at the time by then, and we ended up having breakfast together.
I said, breakfast, come with me if you want to live.
So we go down and have breakfast. I'm like, oh, this is so great. Everybody's so friendly. Everybody's so nice. This is a really fun time so far. And then we finish breakfast, and this guy grabs the bill and runs off and buys me breakfast. So just super nice guy. I was like, what a nice place this is. Well, everybody's so friendly. It was just a really thoughtful thing, and it was a fun time hanging out with you for the half an hour for breakfast. But then we got to hang out later on, and you got to meet everyone else.
Oh, yeah. We went full pirate mode, late night.
Yeah.
So for
breakfast,
whoever's going to show up all alone, Shane flies to the IC. He's sleeping with John at the night. He's waking up with Benjamin in the day. He's getting his breakfast paid for. This guy's living the life of a single man.
I'm living the life of a single woman. I'm being wooed with breakfast and meals. John's paying for the whole hotel room the whole weekend.
Oh, really?
Well, hey, I don't have a chauffeur, guys, so you have me one up there.
So you guys were talking about like differences in your experiences with the ICC Con. I've been every year. In fact, my wife and I drove from Wilmington, North Carolina to Nashville, which is about 12 hours the first year. And what's funny is that year, Hurricane Florence was coming through and was about to tear up some stuff. So what we did was, so we wouldn't get stuck in town, we left 2 days early and were able to work with Mike Havens and somebody else to exchange our tickets for VIP tickets and just upgraded and made a weekend of it while our home was being destroyed.
Oh my gosh. Wow. What happened? You have a lot of damage?
A lot of outside damage, yes, but honestly, we really got lucky. I had spent 3 days. It took me 3 days to pack up the important parts of my collection and get them centralized, and also the high ground. Give them the old high ground.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad I did that because our house totally flooded. If I hadn't have done that, it'd have been a much sadder story. So, but yeah, our insurance covered everything. We got a new roof, new floors, no toys were harmed in the making of this hurricane.
Jeez.
It was solid. So I was just attending that year. The next 2 years I volunteered, and then this year I'm actually on the leadership team, and me and my wife are hosting the first off, I got some Turtle guys booked. Jim Lawson and Steve Levine, I got booked, and I think they're the biggest Turtle guys that ICCCon has had so far. So I'm happy about that. And I didn't directly get them booked. I made the connection things happen so that could happen. Anyway, I'm not that important. But I hooked the people up that needed to be hooked up to make that happen. And then me and my wife are also hosting the cosplay contest this year.
Oh, nice. Charles,
Yep.
what are you going dressed as?
I am going dressed up as Leonardo.
Okay.
Naked.
All right, very good.
Naked Leonardo.
I've got some turtle buddies that are coming, and they're preparing. One of them is going to be Punker Don. Oh boy, I'm going to be a little biased there. That's tough. That puts me in a real hard position there. And the other one's Heavy Metal Raph. They're coming as Rocker Turtles, and they're my friends. I'm just going to have to like avert my eyes. It's going to be too much for me to take in. I can't even right now.
Going to be April O'Neil with that hair of his.
All right, so we're really excited to see, you know, the collection. We got a little sneak preview in the last episode, finishing our conversation about the vintage line of turtles. So let's jump in. Where do you want to start? I know that you've got a couple of rooms and it's a pretty expansive collection. Don't hold back in terms of, you know, you could feel free to show some Star Wars stuff, show some Wolverine stuff. I know that's a big one for you, but we're really looking to see, you know, what you got. You've got a whole setup there.
Yeah, for sure, man. There is no better place to start than the Rock Room, where I am currently standing. So this little converted garage area of our house has like an extra room kind of cut out of it, and this was like an office because it was a show home or whatever. So that's why this space is kind of a room within a room. It's a little bit odd, but anyway. So this is a functional Rock Room. Lifelong musician, so I can come in here and jam out on keyboard and guitar and drums and all that. And there's nothing but Rocker Turtles in here as far as collecting goes. So there's only things that make music happen and Rocker or music turtles in here. And I actually kind of differentiate between saying Rocker and music turtles because this, for instance, is just some wacky shirt with like really not good art on it, which is so just cool. So I call these music turtles because they're not really to do with the tour, and they're not really to do with the wave of action figures and the design guide art and such. In fact, they predate this design guide art. So I kind of break up Rocker Turtles into a few different categories, and that's actually how I have the collection, the Rock Room, segmented as well. So this whole back wall is just the Rocker Turtle stuff. So these are like the standees from Pizza Hut. These are cloth that would have had a dowel, a wooden dowel running through right here, and they would sell these at the concerts. I'm still missing Donatello. If anybody wants to holler at your boy, please and thank you. So they had so many cool promotional things for the tour. So, I mean, I could probably spend an episode talking about this wall, honestly. But this hat is so cool.
So how did that come about? Were they originally, you know, 4 figures that were released in a part of a series or one of the waves, and then they just had the idea to turn it into more than?
No, I believe it's all kind of unrelated, honestly. I don't know how much relationship there is, but like, I know we touched on this on the other episode, but if you go back even further, before the design guide art and before that wave of toys was produced, you have images like this of kind of a punker Don. He even has a mohawk. And the heavy this thrash, turtle thrash, as it's called. That's the original Ryan Brown painting. You can actually see it's actually got some damage on it. Like it's a real organic looking piece. It's a cool piece, man. It's probably one of my favorite pieces in my collection for sure. But a lot of this stuff predates the Rocker Turtles, but you have to wonder how much it's tied in to Punker Don's mohawk. You know, the fact that Ryan Brown drew this in 1988. This design guide art didn't come out until I believe 90 or 91. I believe the Rocker Turtles were actually a 92 wave, so they were probably working on them in 91. So it's just really interesting. Like there's some consistencies, and then there's some stuff that's just totally different. So when I say Rocker Turtles, I'm thinking about this design guide art right here that you see on everything. It's the same images.
Yeah. Yeah, if he was drawing, those early drawings were from 1988, then it was an early concept that maybe continued to grow or was later
Right.
on.
And then you have wacky stuff like this, which is what I just call music turtles. They have nothing to do with the toy line. They have nothing to do with the tour. Speaking of the tour, this is Michelangelo's stage used vest from the Coming Out of Their Shells tour.
So they really
crazy.
went on tour singing?
What's that?
So they really went on tour, like
Yeah.
singing? I
Yeah, they did. Yep, they did.
Have you met those guys in person?
No, not the tour guys.
Are they still tour or no?
Nah. It was like a 2 or 3 year period. So
Where'd you get that jacket from?
I bought it from a collector, Mike Davis. He's one of the most OGest turtle collectors they is. So I was happy to cop that off his collection. My battery's actually slowly going kind of down, so I'm gonna continue on here on this path until I run out.
Yeah, go for it.
So this art here is all from my personal turtle buddies that I know, mostly Aaron Hazuri, actually. All that envelope art, this print, and then that's actually the original from Aaron Hazuri. And some buddies of mine last year created this custom mutabus. The regular one looks like this. So it's like a tour bus. It's like a school bus that folds out, has a fold-out stage for the rock and roll band. Pretty much the coolest toy of all time. And so my buddies actually custom painted this one. They have like my last name on the wheels, like the Baldwin tour, and created all kind of instruments and microphone stands and speakers and stuff. I mean, they really went all out with this stuff. And even this Splinter right here and this Michelangelo right here and the blue tour bus they custom painted is all featured in this art right here by Aaron Hazuri. And this was my birthday gift that some of my buddies did for me last year. So they made this fake tour poster for the Baldwin tour, and it actually features the custom bus and custom figures they created for me in the art from Aaron. And then their birthdays and hometowns are listed as fake tour dates on the poster, which is cool. Then Aaron sent me the original, which was awesome, with a little drummer turtle sketch and note. That's another print from Aaron. This is Casey Jones, aka Arcade. He's got some really good work. This is one of my favorite walls here. It's the non-US release wall. So you have this giant poster from Germany here. It was actually a gift from a turtle buddy of mine, which is really cool. Who actually lives in Germany. So from Germany with love. These are Argentinian milk caps. They're not even pogs. They're like super thin. They're pog-like, but super thin. And they also feature the concept art, which is interesting. So they're Argentinian. You don't see the concept art on a lot of stuff. I think they just kind of jacked those images. This is also Argentinian here. This is what all their cards and stickers comes in. But they're not Rocker Turtle related. They just put Rocker Turtles on every pack. So, some other interesting pieces here with some real interesting art. These are Italian, as is this fabric, which has, again, what I call music turtles on it. It's not necessarily the design guide images, and it's not the tour turtles. They are just turtles who happen to be playing music. Now, this is an Argentinian piece that I got solely for the packaging. It had a random assortment of kind of bootylicious goodness in it, random bootleg type low quality stuff. But because they put Rocker Turtles on it, I had to pay $100 and get it home to the rock room. These are some of my favorite pieces right here. These are also Italian. They are Italian pool blow-ups. They're inflatable, like pool inflatables. And they're gigantic. And the instruments are actually separate blow-up inflatables. All the instruments are separate inflatables.
Oh, wow. Those are cool.
Yeah, those are cool pieces.
Yeah.
These are my Euro Turtles mocks. Again, I was mentioning earlier, like, you know, it's kind of cool to have a focus so that you can dabble in all types of stuff. Even though I'm not a mock collector, I got the, you know, experience of collecting some mocks because of my focus or whatnot. And then you get to appreciate the card back art and, you know, all kind of stuff like that. I mean, I totally see the appeal, even though I'm not a full-on MOC collector. But then there they are loose. What's funny is I'll show you the regular release. See, Raph's accessories are red and Don's are yellow. Leo's are still blue. They're a slightly different blue. Mike's are orange. The Euro release, all the accessories are blue. And this is true of all the Euro figures. Toko and Razor have Euro releases. And these figures are actually pretty rare and pretty expensive already. But the accessories are all this Euro blue is what people kind of call it, because all the accessories are that color for all the releases over there. And they're also called Hero Turtles. So Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. They couldn't say ninja in Europe because ninjas are assassins and it was too violent or scary. I don't know. And they called us the Bible Belt. Anywho, so that's why.
With the color.
What's that?
Only why do they do that?
I don't know why all the accessories were blue, bud. I really don't know. But that's how all the Euros came, was with blue accessories. And then the only way you can tell the figures apart is their joint here is glued. So they have 2 less points of articulation due to being glued for whatever reason.
Gotcha.
Pretty cool repaint of that Leonardo bubble bath. This is to make him look like the Rocker Turtle, classic Rocker Leo. Pretty cool. So, yeah, man, I mean, I could talk more about the Rock Room, but I feel like we talked about the prototypes pretty in depth in the other video, so maybe I won't unpack those fully in this one unless you want me to.
Yeah, I think we you know, we covered those pretty good in the last episode. I'd love to see what you have in the other room as well. So I don't want to run out of time with you.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So one of my focuses is Michelangelo. So this last shelf here in the row is all Mikey stuff. I don't buy everything with Michelangelo on it because there's just so much stuff, man. There's so much merchandise that came out for Turtles. You just, I can't. I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, I've got my fair share of non-toy Michelangelo stuff. That's
what Charles would call garbage.
But
and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I just mean I love to collect all the, you know, oddballs and tchotchke stuff too. And Charles is just like garbage. You know, if it's like not official, you know, release, like that's his thing. You know, he loves that stuff in the acrylic.
You could definitely do a few more things though. There's not a lot there.
So, anywho, this is my full vintage Mikey run. From minis.
Oh, those are cool.
All the way to giants and everything in between, of course. Yeah. So there are some grayish items up here. This is the Safari mic I was talking about in the last video. That's not a knife.
What's he worth?
I'm terrible with prices, but I'm sure he's over 200 at this point, loose, complete, maybe even over 300. But that's the thing. I hate reselling. I'll pay somebody more to just send me the thing I want instead of buying their lot or whatever. I'm like, no, please only send me the thing I want and nothing else. I'll pay you like $5 more to not send me anything else that I have to do something with. But I'd say this is probably the most expensive Mikey here is the cloth coat undercover Mikey. And I think he's about 1,500 plus at this point.
Jeez.
Wow.
But these are some of the kind of rare sumo Mike. I have a 90s Toy Biz The Thing coat on him. He does not come in that coat. I just like him in it. Got some Japanese stuff.
So why is that other worth 1,500? Is it just like not that common, or?
It's rare. So anyway, that's kind of the Mikey stuff.
Is it fair to say? Would you agree that Michelangelo is probably the most popular turtle? I mean, that's what I feel like from my recollection, even as a kid.
It's between him and Raph.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's between him and Raph.
I would have guessed like Leonardo over Raph.
Leonardo's the least popular.
Wow.
He is. Yep.
Learning all kinds of stuff.
Tough facts. Oh, I actually do have another prototype here I didn't talk about before. This is the first shot of Hotspot. So that is a gem.
Yeah. Charles, you weren't you saying the other day that how expensive he was, right? The actual figure, Charles? Tune in, Charles.
He's mesmerized.
Hotspot is.
Oh, all right. Well,
is he a 10-back, Shane?
Yeah, there's 10 figures on his back. Yes.
So yeah, that was kind of my Mikey stuff. This is some of my kind of basic turtles and such. I do have a Ace Duck focus, like a kind of a side quest of Ace Duck and Walkabout. So this is a NECA scale custom Walkabout my buddy Daniel Barnes made for me. I got some Cool Kid original art, folks from my Facebook group family. Then these are my turtle dicks. I figured out that Dick Tracy mashes up really well with Ninja Turtles because they're the same size, scale, era, and style. All made by Playmates. So I was making this Octopus Inc. Casey figure, and I wanted to make one like really accurate to the cartoon. The episode of Corporate Raiders from Dimension X or something like that. So that's how I figured out that the two toy lines mashed up well together. And then I went on a holy crusade of creating gangster turtles out of like a bunch of characters that I ended up getting fodder from. And some were gifts from friends, like this Ray Fillet little starfish buddy there is pretty epic. But so that's a whole shelf of my turtle dicks. Then these are all customs.
So those are all customs on that shelf, then you're saying?
Yeah, mostly created by me. Yep.
Wow.
So you create turtle dicks?
I do.
Okay.
Not safe for work, but somebody actually made one for me too.
Is that
We'll have to.
Okay. All right, so
is that on
that's
crack?
here's the movie Three Turtles. We were talking about those earlier.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they're cool. They're real cool. And then I made this walkabout.
Battery died.
Did we lose him?
Battery dead.
He's still on though. No?
I don't know. I think it's just frozen. Oh, that stinks. We were getting along there further in.
I want to see his Toy Biz collection and the Star Wars collection and everything.
He's got a whole house full.
Yeah. Oh, and he's gone. Maybe he's going to charge it up or something.
So,
all right, folks. So we're jumping back in with Benjamin here. He's got a new device. We lost him for a moment, but we're back here, and I'm going to throw it over to you, Benjamin. Where we leave off?
well, we were talking about my turtle dicks.
That's where things really went off the rails, I believe.
Awkward. Then we were talking about my movie 3 figures here. And I always like my collection to have like diverse pieces. It's not just toys. Like I've got the, actual novel and VHS and CDs and fun stuff like that. Then I took a walkabout figure and a walker figure and made a walkerbout.
Nice.
And these are other movie figures. They were some of my favorites growing up. They're kind of like rubbery in texture. So they have like a realer feel to them. Super Shredder is probably my all-time favorite villain action figure, I would say. Really, really cool figure. Well, that's the rest of the movie figures. And that's basically all the turtles. I also collect dinosaur stuff. So Jurassic Park, definitely Play School's definitely dinosaurs, Dino Riders, even Land of the Lost.
Nice.
Kind of got a little dino focus going on. I put my Savage Land stuff to slowly transition into 90s Toy Biz. Put my Savage Land stuff here with the dinos. This is another Aaron Hazori piece of art. Jurassic Park turtle mashup. I got my Jeep right in front of that. And then the only 90s Toy Biz I have up currently is my Wolverine collection. And that was a non-negotiable item. I definitely wanted to get all that on display. So it ranges from this Wolverine telephone and also phone card, MOC, phone card, to this giant guy and some prototypes and Legos, minis, all kinds of stuff. It's primarily 90s Toy Biz.
Now, where did you get into Wolverine from? Like, where did that stem from? Was it comics? Was it video games? Where, it was obviously pre the movies. Where did that come in?
Primarily the cartoon.
Okay.
Yeah, primarily the cartoon for sure.
Do you have a Ninja Turtles arcade game?
Well,
That's amazing.
Oh, Ben, you got to say something. We got to get that back on the screen. I don't know what we saw it really well.
What, the arcade?
Yeah. Oh, say something. I'm sorry. I keep talking.
There she blows. Ye old Ninja Turtle arcade. It's the 1-up version, and I think I do want to try to get it modded out, like Raspberry Pi style, because it takes up a decent amount of space. So I think it'd make it a lot more worth the real estate if it had a bunch more games on it. So
yeah, if you had easily had 100 more games in there.
That's something I'm looking into. There's some of my Star Wars up here. A buddy of mine, Kyle Page, who lived here in Wilmington for a while, he had to move back to his homeland of Australia, and he gifted me this store display. It's backlit, and it's got the kind of Star Wars style lighting on it too. And he actually gifted me this cardboard store display as well. So they were kind of awkward to figure out what figures to put on them and place, vehicles and play sets, and try to figure out how to work with them to display stuff. I kind of had to shoehorn in my Death Star there for sure on this bottom shelf. But hold up, I'll turn on the
Now those are mostly in your childhood, right? Ooh, that's nice.
I had probably about 40 to 50 something figures, but not really any accessories. Growing up, but all of the vehicles and playsets, most of the accessories, and probably about 30% of the figures I got on the Imperial Commissary. So what's crazy is I had about just as much. Surprise, surprise. Right in your eyes. Misa surprising you. I had about just as much modern stuff as I do vintage. But I knew the modern stuff would never be displayed. So I sold it to a local buddy of mine, Charles Auten. He's also an IC member. And whenever I go hang out with Charles, I get to visit some of my childhood toys. So that's pretty cool. And he's got them hung up from the ceiling and everything. So he's got a real proper Star Wars space for sure.
And I just want to say that's a pretty impressive, vintage Star Wars collection for our regular viewers who are Star Wars collectors. I mean, this is just a part of your collection, and I guarantee you there's people watching that wish they had, that many pieces themselves. So that's pretty impressive.
Thanks, man. Well, like I said, collecting as an adult started with Star Wars for me, continuing my run that I started as a kid. So that's kind of what started it, and then I slowly transitioned into Turtle World. This piece is really crazy. That's actually a facsimile. So they made 100 copies of the script of A New Hope to be used on set, right? So that means there's 100 of these pages that you're looking at right now. And I found it at That Yoda Guy movie museum in St. Martin. It's a half French, half Dutch island in the middle of nowhere, like somewhere you stop on a cruise. And this guy who created the original Yoda puppet used in Empire Strikes Back just happens to live there and have a movie museum where, he did a bunch of stuff. Like he worked on, he created the original Pinhead for Hellraiser, and that head was in his shop. He had like all these face molds lined up of all the people he's worked with and like molded their faces to make casts and stuff. Anyway, this is a piece of the script used on the set of A New Hope, purchased in St. Martin, like totally randomly on this company trip I went on. I had no idea what I was stepping into.
That's funny. I've been there as well. In that store. Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so awesome, man.
Yeah, I went there probably 5 years ago. And
nice.
then they, with COVID and all that, they've had a big. He's been trying to auction a bunch of his stuff off on separate groups and stuff to get enough money to keep his store open there.
Nice. Yeah. I've been keeping up with some of that too. So my local buddy Charles Auten is totally jealous of my Bespin set. It is a nicer one for sure. And I did get it about 6 or 7 years ago. So that's another one of those items that kind of appreciated and whatnot. So yeah, I'm just missing the A-Wing pilot blaster, the Imperial gunner blaster, Ewok battle wagon, and one body rig to have the full vintage Star Wars run. I don't collect droids or Ewoks, but I saved those pieces so that I could have something to hunt for when I go to ICC Con and other conventions and stuff. I could have bought them online, 3 years ago, but I just left them unchecked so that, maybe I can find them in person. And just part of me was sad to finish the run in a way,
Yeah, well, for some shameless self-promotion, you can come over to the Rogue 5 Toys booth, but obviously come and hang out with us. But I know already Charles and a couple of the guys are talking about bringing some accessories as well. So, I just know from even being there the first time last year, there'll be a lot of accessories available, from people even just attending who are doing room sales and stuff like that. So you'll have some fun hanging out and finding those pieces, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, I think we've taken enough of Benjamin's time. We've gotten 3 episodes out of our evening with you, Benjamin. We really appreciate you hanging with us. It was really great to talk to you again. I know we've chatted a bit, you and I, through the group and whatnot. But it's nice to see your face again, talk to you, and will you be there in April? You said you're going to be looking for those things, so I assume you'll be there. What's your plan? Will you be there for the whole weekend?
I will. In fact, this year is different for me because I'm actually on the leadership team and have been helping plan some of the convention. And me and my wife are hosting the cosplay contest this year as well. So I'll actually be on site for longer than I've ever been on site before. I'll be there for like 5 days or something.
All right, great. So we'll definitely be hanging. We'll see you there, and it's been great to catch up with you and finally get to see some of that collection. That's awesome. Guys, another fun evening, another fun episode with Benjamin. We're going to all see each other at the convention, so we'll be looking forward to it. Any parting words?
There was just there was so much stuff.
Yeah, pretty envious of all the room you have there and the ability to display all your stuff. A couple of us, live out of our closets with our collection and stuff and don't really have a nice place to display. So definitely envious there.
Believe it or not, I still kind of feel your pain. I have a few toy lines still not displayed. I collect some fast food toys, Dick Tracy, the rest of my 90s Toy Biz. All I have out is my Wolverine. I probably have that much again of the other 90s Toy Biz non-Wolverine stuff. Spider-Man, I've got big Spider-Man black suit Focus. I've actually got some key issues of a few comics of my main characters and some stuff like that too, even though I'm primarily a toy collector. So I still got stuff in boxes too, man.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on and hanging out with us 5 idiots tonight.
This is my pleasure.
Yeah, thanks so much. Yeah,
Thank you.
All right, Benjamin, we'll see you in April.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Rock and roll.
Right.
Cowabunga.
All right, buddy. We'll see you then. Take care. Thanks very much for being here.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right.
all right. Thanks, man.
All right, guys. So that'll do it for another Collector's Corner, this time with Benjamin Baldwin. Thank you so much for being here. It was fun seeing all the Ninja Turtles collection, obviously. That's something newer for us to see that much and the full spread of throughout the vintage run of those turtles. And honestly, he has a hell of a Star Wars collection. He's talking about being, one mini rig and a couple of accessories short of the whole vintage run. That's pretty impressive. So again, subscribe to the channel, hit that alarm bell icon so you can be notified of the videos that we put out during the week, as well as our Sunday night episodes, the full podcast episodes. But also check out in the description of this video so that you can learn how to enter to win the HasLab Razor Crest vehicle. Gigantic, huge-ass vehicle that we're going to be giving away to one of our subscribers. And we will announce the winner not too long in the distant future, we hope, once we hit our subscriber goal. So thanks very much for joining us once again. We will see you on the next episode. Take care.